high school diploma may now be eligible. My name is Jordan Abernathy, and find out how you can qualify.
Find out why teachers will soon be required to receive suicide prevention training.
What do AIDS and drag queens have in common? I'm Nicole Castrone, and I'll tell you how one Athens organization is using drag to raise awareness.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady News Source.
Good evening and welcome to Mock Show 570. I'm Jordan Mecca.
And I'm Kaylin Wilson. A new law lets Georgia students file a petition to get a diploma even if they failed some graduation tests. Reporter Jordan Abernathy tells us it's about giving students another chance, about 9,000 of them.
That's right, Kaylin. A lot of them want to graduate just to be able to go to college, whether it's somewhere as small as Athens Tech or somewhere as big as the University of Georgia. But regardless as to where they choose, they all say they just want a chance.
Damian Sheets studies hard in his books in order to pass his subject test, especially math because he's failed it 4 times. But that hasn't stopped him from pushing. He's determined to be successful and go even further than the standard high school diploma.
As soon as I didn't get my diploma, I went full-time, and then I finally found out about Paxton, and that's when I got into this a year ago. So I think GED, that's why I'm still trying to fight for that. I'm just not trying to just settle for the high school diploma, even though that's good, a good outlook, you know.
Paxton Center Program Manager David Connors says that he thinks that the bill would be beneficial for those who didn't receive a diploma because many students who failed their test had to enroll in a GED program.
With from what I know of the new bill passing, it would really help some students because a lot of folks who weren't able to pass the graduation test went to GED prep programs essentially, and so it really opens up the opportunity to get that high school diploma.
Sheets is determined to get his GED and plans on going to Athens Tech to finally pursue his dream of a college education. He believes that petitioning is important for all students because he thought that that was the only option he had. He is willing to fight for his right to continue his education.
I've been fighting for a long time to try to do it. I have a lot of people with my class 2012, that were dealing with the same thing. They failed parts of their graduation test, and I'm telling them about the law that we just passed because they've been dealing with it for it's going on 3 years now that we done graduated, and everybody's still dealing with it. So I'm glad they passed the law because I thought I was the only one.
Students like Damian are anxiously waiting to wait for back from the state, but they all just want a diploma because that would be something that would change their life.
Thank you, Jordan. That's especially critical because Athens has one of the highest dropout rates in the state. Paxton Program Manager David Connors agrees that this bill will remove the pressure from the new, more challenging GED test. The petition for a diploma has just a few simple steps compared to the many requirements for a GED. The petition to get your high school diploma only requires that you fill out this form with basic information. A counselor will check to ensure you've completed all graduation requirements and notify you within a month. However, the GED requires more intense tutoring and challenging tests in all 4 core areas.
I would say, if a student were asking me this, I would say go ahead and get the diploma. GED is high school equivalent, and believe me, this test is no joke with that.
The new requirements create tension for those who have been pursuing a GED, but can now obtain their diplomas more easily. However, receiving the diploma is not a guarantee. Some don't support the bill because they think it makes obtaining a diploma too easy. University of Georgia professor Sally Zepeda opposes the critics, saying the bill is about making education equal and serves as an agent for social change.
Many students who they didn't pass the graduation test and they walked away with nothing. Well, forever, doors are shut to them. So where's the fairness in that? And I'm not saying that we need to give the diplomas out like candy. What I'm saying is just give students an opportunity.
Zepeda says this bill is about finding those people in the community who don't have a chance and give it to them. For those who want more information on petitioning for a high school diploma, you can visit the Georgia Department of Education's website at www.gadoe.org or contact your local school system. Coming up, find out why public school teachers will soon be required to receive suicide prevention training.
You should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I wish I was in school.
If only I had a math test today.
Or a book report to give.
I wish I was in school.
I'll stay after class. I'll clean the chalkboard. I'll do extra homework. I'll skip recess.
I wish I was in school.
I wish I was in school.
I really wish I was in school.
School ends, but free lunches for your kids don't have to. Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/summer meals for help. Together, we're feeding America.
Suicide is the third leading cause of death for youth between the ages of 10 and 24. But a new act will require teachers to receive training on how to prevent suicide. Reporter Kristen Miller says they hope training will help lower those numbers.
And nowhere is that more important than here on the University of Georgia campus, where there have been several reported cases of suicide. The challenge right now for the Board of Education is that they don't exactly know how the teachers will be trained. But even though there hasn't been a lot of planning, there has been a very positive reception from the community.
I think it's going to be a really good thing. I think that the teachers do have a lot to do, but I also think that if it will save a life, I'm sure that they will do that because they do love the children.
Guffey is the facilitator of the Survivors of Suicide support group here in Athens. Monthly meetings are held at Nucci Space, which is a resource center that aims to help in the healing process of losing a loved one to suicide.
We talk about, what it's done to us, personally, how it's affected our lives and how different it is.
The support group provides a welcoming environment for people to talk about their emotions and different coping strategies. Guppy says communication is a large part of suicide prevention.
If they just knew that they weren't alone and they knew there were different outlets out there, and sometimes what they feel, is okay to feel that way, but you have to get help.
Preventing suicide is the main objective of the Jason Flatt Act. The director of health promotions at the UGA Health Center said it is important for teachers to recognize the warning signs of a child struggling with suicidal thoughts before it's too late to help them.
By the time someone's at a point where they're ready to take their life, and if they really want to do that, the reality is probably nothing, if they're at that moment, probably nothing anybody will do will stop it.
Although there aren't any details yet on how the Board of Education plans to train teachers, they do know what training needs to cover. It's important for the teachers to know how to talk to the students, but it's just as important for the students to realize that it's okay to talk to someone if they feel like they're struggling with suicidal thoughts.
The act is awaiting Governor Nathan Deal's signature to officially be made law. Georgia will be the 14th state to adopt the Jason Flatt Act. Expanding awareness and encouraging open dialogue is something one UGA organization values. Active Minds attempts to change the way people think of mental health by posting anonymous student-submitted postcards revealing personal secrets. They call it the Post Secret You Project, and a new poster will be up in Tate next week.
We got some really interesting cards, some really deep stuff about what's going on campus, whether that be anxiety, self-harm, depression, eating disorders. We got so many things of people just talking about their stories and what's going on in their lives, and it's kind of, we want to get it out there so people see it and see one of those cards and think, I'm not the only one going through that.
Knowing that others experience the same hardships helps students feel like they are not alone. Last year, Georgia was ranked 9th nationally for most suicides committed. According to the CDC, suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death in adolescence, and that rate has tripled since 1960. Based on a Georgia 2013 Youth Risk Behavioral Survey, 14.3% of Georgia students said that they had seriously considered suicide in the past 12 months. And coming up,
you can rock out and help the community after the break.
Welcome to the Athens-Clarke County Tennis Center in Athens, Georgia. Completed in 2013, the Tennis Center offers great play all year round on 12 fully lit hard surface courts. There are accommodations for spectators and enough space to host a tournament. The main building features energy-efficient construction, ADA accessibility, a covered pavilion, and much more. Players of all ages enjoy open play, clinics, and summer tennis camps at the Athens-Clarke County Tennis Center. Because in Athens, Georgia, tennis is for everyone.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
This is the Oconee Street Park and Ride Lot, where you can park for free on weekdays and ride the bus into downtown Athens and UGA. The Downtown Express runs every 20 minutes during peak commuting hours. So skip the parking fees and traffic hassles. Park for free and ride into downtown Athens and UGA from the Oconee Street Park and Ride.
Park and ride. Park and ride. Park and ride.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
You can both rock out and help bring awareness to hunger this weekend. It's the 7th annual We'll Rock for Food event put on by the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia. Reporter Damian Reynolds tells us the proceeds will directly go towards feeding the local children in need.
Yes, Sammy, and unfortunately there are a lot of them. The Food Bank of Northeast Georgia started this event to help the cause in order to help all the overwhelming children fighting hunger. These crates of food resting upon each other represent the hungry children in Athens. Musicians, local companies, and families donate their time to help, all to help feed local school children. And it started with one woman and a few of her friends.
So I saw lots of kids in need. I knew kids in their classrooms that received Food to Kids bags. And the idea that any one of those kids that I hugged and loved on every day was going home and not having enough food just was more than I could stand.
Dotson makes sure there's a variety of food to ensure there's something for everyone, especially for children who don't know when their next meal will be.
So they come to school and they get breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday, but when they go home on the weekends, they may have nothing. They may eat Friday at school and not eat again until Monday.
UGA student Hannah Holbrook is volunteering at the food bank for the first time. While her duties include organizing and stacking shelves with food, she explains why she chose to volunteer at the food bank.
You know, I'm very blessed to never be hungry, so to help others who are hungry is just very, rewarding.
Dotson says she loves being at the food bank and helping feed the local children.
It's been a wonderful thing, and unfortunately, it's bittersweet that we have to feed so many kids, but that we can, at least.
For them, it may be bittersweet, but for the children, it tastes so good.
Besides the music, there will be a large rock, paper, scissors tournament and raffle ticket giveaways. There's also a kids jam session for children and a beer tasting for appropriate ages so everyone can enjoy the event. One local elementary school counselor knows all too well about kids going home hungry. Fraser Kent, school counselor at Howard B. Stroud Elementary School in Athens, works closely with the food bank to help kids from going home hungry. These are 47 portable sacks of food Kent prepares for the kids over the long weekends. Kent knows these children struggle to find food because she sees them asking for seconds at lunch and taking food to go.
Sometimes teachers will recognize those and we'll refer them, and then I'll contact the family and kind of feel out what their situation is at home. Sometimes we'll identify things through parent requests. Sometimes we have kids who just come up and say we don't have enough food at home.
Kent and the Food to Kids program pack a variety of foods from whole jars of peanut butter to individual Mac and Easy Macs and the last kids throughout the weekend. 1 in 3 Clark County are classified as food insecure, meaning they are living meal to meal. In the greater Northeast Georgia area, 1 in 4 kids are food insecure, making 90,000 total. These kids have no idea where their next meal will come from or when. The children in the Food to Kids program receive 1 or 2 meals at school and take the food bags at home over the weekend to provide not just for themselves, but also for their families. And coming up,
find out why members of the Athens community will be walking for 7 hours straight this Friday. I'm Shanteri Skinner, and I have that for you next.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I actually work for a community college in Virginia. And so I see firsthand how they really impact people's lives and help them be better students, kind of figure out what they want to do. Can really help people in a very short amount of time go from either unemployed or underemployed to having a job that makes them feel really good about themselves and that they're excited to wake up and go to every day. So big supporter of Athens Tech and other schools like it.
It's just a good working environment. Get along with everybody.
The teachers are very helpful. I think they really care about their students. They're not just in it for pay.
I guess you could say my favorite part about Athens Tech is that most of my friends go here. All this new stuff, and I'm just glad I have my best friends beside me.
To Maddie. Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow. I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Walking in circles for 7 hours might seem crazy to most, but for some people at the University of Georgia, it symbolizes the journey of cancer. It's all a part of the Relay for Life benefiting the American Cancer Society. Reporter Shanteri Skinner talked to participants and survivors who said it's a lot more than symbolism to them.
Yes, this is a reality, a really painful reality. But when you talk to them, one message comes across loud and clear. Hope. Walls of the banquet hall were lined with luminaria, some with messages of hope, others in memoriam. With such a lively crowd, it was hard to believe that this group was so deeply affected by cancer. No one knows the hardships of cancer better than Michael Alvarez.
With my cancer, there really wasn't a protocol when I was going through it. It was very terrifying for my mom to not know what was going to happen to me. Both my parents, my dad, it was a tough time. My dad had recently lost his job. My mom was pregnant and I had been diagnosed.
Now in remission, Michael joins the majority of UGA's Relay for people who have yet to win their battles against cancer, along with those who have passed on. Savannah Groh walks for her grandfathers.
So both of my parents' fathers passed away from cancer.
My dad's dad was when I was 8 years old. He had brain cancer for 10 years, and he was great. He was like the ultimate grandfather. I was the first grandchild, so I think that had a lot to do with it, but he spoiled me rotten. And it just like breaks my heart that he's not here to see me graduate.
This gate symbolizes the barrier between the cure for cancer and everyone affected by it. This is the lock. What they are looking for is the key.
UGA's Relay for Life promise is to keep on walking until that key is found.
So far this year, UGA Relay for Life has raised over $167,000, and it's not over yet. While medical treatments are crucial for cancer survival, studies suggest that cancer support groups can improve quality of life. The Lauren Smith Center in Athens offers education and cancer support through multiple programs, all in a welcoming home environment. The center is open to anyone who's been affected by cancer in any way and is free of charge. Manager Joel Seibentrit has seen the difference that his cancer center makes firsthand.
Help them understand what they're going through, help them to find their strengths on their own as they're facing treatment, and to help them share those things and get the social support of others in a similar situation.
For more information about the center, visit athenshealth.org/Lauren Smith Center. With summer right around the corner, the risk of getting skin cancer skyrockets. According to the Skin Cancer Foundation, it is one of the most common cancers, but it's also the easiest to cure if diagnosed early. Frequent self-examinations can mean the difference between life and death. What to look out for? A skin growth that increases in size and appears pearly, translucent, tan, brown, black, or multicolored. A mole, birthmark, beauty mark, or any brown spot that changes appearance. A spot or sore that continues to itch, hurt, crust, scab, or bleed. An open sore that does not heal within 3 weeks. If you experience any of these symptoms, see a doctor right away. Find out how Athens Organizations is using drag queens to raise money.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
My favorite part, probably the size. The class sizes, you're able to interact with the teachers better. I feel like it's a lot more personal than a humongous school.
A group of drag queens is putting on a week of events that has become an Athens tradition, one that raises money for a good cause, fighting AIDS. Reporter Nicole Castrillon says the event is unique in many ways, from the people to the performances.
It's called Boybitant, a play on the word debutante, because, well, all of the performers are drag queens and gays and straights and lesbians, all coming together to have fun, but for a good cause.
This is what Hendershots looks like on any given night. But tonight, it looks like this. 7 drag queens competed against each other as part of the Boybitant AIDS Foundation's Ball Week. Drag queen Sin is always looking for an opportunity to perform in Athens and jumped at the chance to perform.
I've been doing drag for a long time, and I don't get the chance to do Athens that much, so I just wanted to, come out and do something in Athens, be with the community.
This week gives community members a different outlet to express themselves. Nathan Altman, secretary for the board of directors, says that drag is a fun way to help a good cause.
Drag is a conduit for people to be able to feel empowered about themselves, to really bring something lovely to the community that's entertaining and sparkly and happy and exciting, and make you part of a community that's a little bit larger than yourself while also being really excited about something that's happening on stage.
The foundation has been using this drag-filled week in order to raise money for those affected by AIDS in the Athens area, as well as education program.
It means community. It means being part of something bigger than myself. It means being part of something where the people involved are so passionate about helping this community.
This week also means more to the community than self-expression. It also means giving unique opportunities.
We saw a really amazing performance tonight by a especially capable person, and it was their lifelong goal to do drag, and just enjoying the spectacle of it.
The drag show was a very unique experience indeed, and the foundation hopes to raise $30,000 as they do every year.
Those girls definitely looked like they were having fun on the stage.
Drag queens are more fabulous than I will ever be, and they can walk in heels better than I can.
The number of people with HIV/AIDS has been steadily decreasing in the United States as a whole, but has actually been increasing in the South. Here in Athens, the AIDS Foundation has seen a 20% increase in the number of clients they serve. 4 out of 10 Americans living with AIDS live in the South. Urban communities are hit the hardest by the epidemic. Atlanta is one of the cities where 47% of the LGBTQ population is affected by AIDS. This is not only affecting Atlanta, but people in our own backyard.
We serve about 400 people, and that can be from just somebody coming in to get a test and maybe get some food, or somebody who is homeless needing housing services.
For more information on AIDS Athens, you can visit their website at www.aidsathens.org. I'm Valerie Burgos.
And I'm Bliss Savage. Thanks so much for watching Mock Show 570. Stay tuned for Casangera telling us what a great job we did.
The student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
Get out to the forest.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo! Hey guys, wait up!
And discover the wonders of nature with your family.
These trees are the key to our way of life.
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning!
Clean water.
Woo-hoo! This is great!
An endless forest adventure.
Let's rock this jungle! Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing!
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack.
Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
To the Bach Show 570 post-show critique. I'm Michael Castengera, filling in as executive producer. You can see we have a full array of people. It must be a big show because the senior production manager is here, so that's either a good sign or a bad sign. I'm not sure which.
That's a good sign.
And then we have a director who was feeling his oats, getting back into the saddle, so to speak. And we have the producer, as always. We're going to talk about the show, which is the second to last show. There's only one after this for the Thursday group. So, having said that, obviously you've got a microphone.
I'm going to go first.
And you're ready to go first.
If you don't mind.
Of course.
Cool. So today was our director's last show. Jeff Gross, he's been directing for 4 semesters here at Grady News Source. He's a very good friend of mine. We got in at the same time together, so we're like close friends, I guess you could say. Blood brothers, that's kind of weird. Vegas and LA changed him, but he's still dear to our hearts. So good job, Jeff. Congratulations on graduating. Moving on to your next endeavor.
Thank you.
So I'm going to let you take it away and talk about the show, and I just want to give you a shout out. So there you go, man.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, this has been a pretty big part of my life for the past couple of years. I've enjoyed getting to know you guys over the semester. I know I didn't direct you guys too much this semester, but it's been fun when I did. But yeah, overall, I thought you guys did a nice job. Definitely saw lots of improvement since the beginning. I still made a couple of mistakes on my last show. Definitely wasn't my best show directing.
Yeah, it's always the last one, right?
Yeah. So
like, damn.
I would say I'd work on it, but
yeah, you're not going.
Why bother? Yeah, just a couple of little goofy technical glitches, bring up the wrong lower third and stuff like that.
So how's it feel saying that's it, you walk out?
Really weird. It hasn't quite hit me yet. Like, I feel like I'm still going to come in next week and do something, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today.
Any recommendations to the students or anything you noticed in terms of format, filing, blah, 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 anything?
I really thought you guys did a really great job today. I loved, you gave me Tia gave me a really nice organized list of like all the lower thirds, all the slugs for the double boxes, and that was extremely helpful.
Cool.
So yeah, good job.
All right. Well, that's your cue. You have a microphone. You can walk over here. I know it's. You should be on the regular mic, right? Yes, she's fine.
Right, I'm fine?
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Awesome. Y'all were awesome. Great job. We're all really relaxed and smiling, so that's a good sign. I guess just practice lines before. Like, we all stumble. I stumble too. I feel weird telling y'all stuff because I do it too. But just practice lines before, so if there's little things like tongue twisters, you can figure those out. Go with the flow. If something messes up, like, don't just freak out. Keep looking at the camera, even if you think that you're off. I made that mistake last week, so we can all work on that. Before we say "and coming up," just like look down at your notes and like take a little breath, and then say "and coming up," especially if you just came from like a serious story and you're like "and coming up," you know, it's just a quick turnaround. But that's all I got.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a couple of points. A couple of you did pause between stories. We want to do that. You know, always the biggest issue is content, and I think, you know, we did pretty well there. I think we did try something a little different, and I don't know, Jake, at all whether the Skype crew is on its way back. We're going to make it before we finish up this post show. Yeah, the Skype shots were a little fuzzy. Those are a little different. Got to get used to those, and we have an issue of getting them in technically. And it's a little concerned when basically the framing of it and the movement. For the reporter out in the field, it's a little awkward because you have to stand there like, whoops, excuse me, like you got a stick. I mean, don't move because otherwise something will happen and you'll okay? So you can't do that. So there is an issue of doing that. Hopefully we'll get the Skype up a little bit. But I wanted to get you guys at least a shot of it and some looking at it. For doing News Source, we will attempt, Jake et al., to do 2 Skypes again next week for whoever's doing it for your last show. I was looking through my notes. It seems like we've pretty well hit some things. You guys are coming in with stories. That's good. A couple of soft shots interview that, you know, the person was very soft focus. Do look at the B-roll. We've gotten into one minor habit which I don't want to do for the last one, and that is we've got package, VOSOT reader, package, VOSOT reader. Content dictates form, okay? That becomes the biggest issue. There was a couple of these that quite frankly could have been more and a couple that should have been less. Timing becomes a big issue. We had to kill the last story in the E-block because we were running over. And that becomes a big one. Make sure your times are clear, and remember when it's a package, it's the package insert, but the remote in, the remote out, and everything is added up. I think that's pretty well. Where's your assignment manager? Anything from you?
No, I thought we were.
Here, have a microphone. It's so much better.
I thought we worked pretty efficiently today. I thought everybody did a really good job of getting their stuff in when we ask, and I don't really have any comments.
Yeah, as he said just a while ago, the director, you've improved, okay? And Jake and all of them see it. You're getting better and better. We're still not at the level we want, but you look at and you can do it. Huh?
3 more years.
3 more years. What?
3 more years.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She was asking. She was talking about the scripts and doing the scripts. Yeah, the writing's getting a little better. We got to get you a little bit more comfortable with that. But the issue is, it'll be interesting. Take a look at your early ones, okay? The first newscast. Yeah, I know. And it's like, and take a look at what you did now. That's a huge improvement in terms of what you're doing. And we get focused on presentation and look and everything else, but it is going to be the content that'll drive it more than anything else. And that's the critical action aspect. What else? I really think that's about it for me. Anybody want to say anything before we say goodnight? No? They're all too shy. But, of course. Have a microphone.
I just think that the Skype crew should get a little shout out because it was raining on us while we were outside. So, you know, great experience. Thanks, y'all.
Cool. Good. That's what I wanted both out there. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next Thursday, same bat time, same bat station. Good night.
Woo.